Hello everyone, Kevin from KTech Services, back again for another educational digitizing video. Today's video we're going to be doing two-color script with Coreldraw. I've had the question from a customer. It's like, okay, how do I have trouble getting it done in Coreldraw and then importing over into Design Shop. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is probably going to be two parts. I'll do part one basically to do the artwork and then getting it into Design Shop, and then part two we'll digitize it and then do a little bit of editing if we need to. Okay, cool. Um, okay, so I just had this up on the screen here. I'm working with Design Shop Professional version 12. Okay. To do this, you're going to need at least Vector or Professional to do this video. Okay. So let's get started here. So as I mentioned, I have it here listed in Design Shop. I'm going to bounce over to Coreldraw, which I have my artwork already done here, but we're gonna do this from the beginning. I am working with Design or Coreldraw version 2025. I believe any version of Corel back to 2013 or whatever kind of thing, or version 13. I mean, I'm pretty sure the older versions of Corel will be able to do this. Okay. Now I do have my Coreldraw set up as I have it set up. Okay. Here you will need properties and you will need object tabs to kind of to complete this text. Okay, artwork, because we need to kind of set the text, get it into a language that Melco Design Shop likes, and then that will be able to import or over into the Melco Design Shop properly. Okay, cool. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to do a file new. I do have mine set to letter to open up a letter all the time. It's actually listed here in my toolbar. This is more of a jacket back scenario situation. So I'm gonna make it a little bit. I'm gonna go to tabloid and then basically 11 by 17. I am gonna switch it to landscape. I am gonna click on my lettering tool. I'm gonna type in KTech with with lowercase. I am going to make that wide. I'm going to make it 12 inches wide. Of course, the size doesn't really matter because we can adjust that once we get this all done in Design Shop. Okay, but for this example, so okay, we have to get it now, but we are going to do a script. Okay, so I believe my customer, okay, S-L-N, okay, and then it's this fancy one right here. Okay, this is one my customer is using. Okay, so we have our name. Okay, now if you want the spaces between the letters, great, you're good to go. If not, click on Shape Tool. You can adjust it. If you want to adjust the whole thing, this tool right here that I found kind of does good. I usually get to the point where it's just barely touching. I like that. If now the H is a little bit, I'm just going to bring that a little bit more over. Perfect. Okay, I like that. So I got my lettering set the way I want it. Make sure you save your artwork in case something happens. I am going to do a blue fill. Okay, then I'm going to switch over. Now we're in, just so you know, we're in a vector element, lettering element here. That's what's listed there. I am going to switch to, let's see, properties here. My uniform color is blue. I am going to do an outline of 3 points. So it puts that black outline around that. I am going to change that to like a red or something so everybody can kind of see. Now, of course, you can adjust your color however you want. I usually use RGB. You can use whatever you like. It really doesn't matter. Okay, in this scenario, I'll go ahead and click on red. Boom, gives me a red border. We're good to go. Okay. The only other thing that I usually do is we're on straight corners right now. I usually like rounded. Now, of course, Design Shop's not going to really care one way or the other to a point, but I just like to do it because it just looks cleaner. Go to the three periods over here. That'll bring up the outline pen, and then you have your corners from straights to curve, or I call this one chop off. But so I just like it. I like it on curves. Okay, so that's what I usually do. Okay. Um, and then I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we got this pretty good. Okay, we're done. We're good. We got the artwork. We got artwork the way we want it. Now, okay, make sure you save, save your artwork. But now, okay, we need to start processing this to get it into got to break it down to get it into a language that will import over to Design Shop properly. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to go to Object, and we're going to go. You can use your hotkeys, Control K, or hit Break Apart. Now it's going to break it apart. I am going to flip over to Objects here. Sorry, and so basically now the lettering's in backwards now. Oh, actually, I'll just want to do undo. That's the way it was. It was one lettering element. Then we highlighted, we go to Object, we go break apart. That's going to break it apart individual letters. Now it's going to be backwards. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Then I'm going to do either, I usually draw imaginary box, or you can come over to the list here, hit the one shift key and select all there. Obviously you can go over here and select all. And if you want to do it that way, it's just however you want to do it. Okay. So I'm just going to do imaginary box, and then the next thing I'm going to go back to Object, and the next one is Control Q, convert to curves. We need to do that. That kind of does another thing here. So it's still selected all, which is great. Go back to Object again. Go all the way down until you see convert outline to object, Control Shift Q. That breaks it down into individual pieces, which is perfect. Okay. Save it. Save your artwork so you have that done. Okay. Now we're ready to get it. Now there's two ways to actually do this to get it over to Design Shop. Okay, either we're going to save a file. Let's say if you have your Coreldraw and your Design Shop on the same computer, you could just do copy and paste. But if you don't, then you'll have to save it as a file and then bring it over to the computer that has Design Shop. Okay, so to do this, you go File, Export. Okay, now I use AI version 8. Okay, it's worked for me for I don't know how many decades. Okay, and I'll show you what I do. It's the format that works for me. I know there's SVG, but I'm working on that. There's some weird issues with it that I have run into. If it works for you, go for it. But um, my go-to is version AI version 8. I found it years ago, and it works for me. It's just my go-to. It works for me every time. For anything, I just pretty much any kind of graphic artist or vector. That's what I do. Okay. I do have this already saved here, and when it comes up and stuff like that, don't do the newest version. Always do version 8. Okay. Save. Okay, just save that. Boom. Now I'm going to bounce over to Design Shop. I'm going to do File, New. I have all this ready here, and it imports them. Look, boom. Now I usually will get rid of the graphic. This can't. It doesn't do anything. Highlight it, hit Delete key. If it doesn't go away, you just have to play with it to get. I don't know. It's so weird about how that actually doesn't always. Um, there we go. Okay. I don't know. It bugs me. I'm sorry. Okay. So then we got our vector art where we can hit auto digitize and then, I'm going to basically do one more step here. So I'm going to go back to Corel. Now let's say I have let's say I have my Coreldraw and my Design Shop on the same computer. Okay. All I have to do is copy and paste, but you got to make sure. I usually will, and you could do it. I mean, obviously you could draw an imaginary box, hit copy, and then paste it. Or I can come over here to the vector list, highlight it. Now what I'm doing is I click on the first, and then I hold my shift key down on my keyboard, and then I'll go to the last one, and then I'll select all there. And then from here, if you want, you can right click on your mouse and you can copy. That's one way I do it. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And then I'll bounce back over to Design Shop, do a file and a new, and then just go to Edit or Control V, and voila. Okay, now I usually center design, and that's it. Now the vector artwork is ready to digitize. Okay, so um, just to show this real quick here, all I have to do is select the vector list, and then default is fine, and then I just go ahead and say convert, and voila. I usually will turn off the vector because I don't need that anymore, and then I'll start working on it and see if I have any bugs. And there's a couple things here, but I am going to cut it off right here, and I'll make a part 2. Thank you for watching here. Please give a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you on the next video, and please check out part 2 of this. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one.